And we are live on Discovery Paranormal. I will say this to y'all. Life is boring sometimes. And listening to people can be really boring too. Yeah, I'm out there, I'm tasting the media, I'm seeing what's going on in the paranormal world, and it's same old, same old, same old, same old. Nobody has anything new to share. Here's a voice, here's a picture, here's this, here's that. I like new stuff. I want to know what's going on, or I like to learn things. So, curses is a very, let's say, just a curse. It's a very interesting thing. A lot of people believe in curses. I'm not talking about curses saying, hey, bafangul, ya manja, gato. No, I'm talking about putting a curse on someone, some bad negativity that follows them around and just basically taunts them and destroys them. And sometimes these curses are generational. There are families that have been cursed after family after family. Look at the Kennedys. You think that they're cursed? I mean, look at all the misfortune. You would think people like that would be on top of all, they got all the money. They got, I'm not saying they got the looks. I mean, some of them were decent looking. You know what I mean? But these guys were the big muckety mucks. They painted themselves as the royalty of the U.S. They all died horrible, miserable, painful, scary deaths. It's not the way I want to go out. You know, I mean, if you just think about the people like that, I don't know, man. You think they were cursed? And people like that often come into cursed objects, things that were cursed, diamonds, other jewelry, whatever, man. And maybe even not cursed on purpose because there's also cursed by incident, something that was involved in something that's carrying that negativity. So it's more about the energy, but especially if someone hates you so much that they focus all of their negative, spiteful, angry hatefulness at you and you alone, and they go hire people to do voodoo curses on you. They go out there looking for all kinds of spiritual hitmen to go after you. What do if someone does that to you? I'm going to tell you what to do tonight. I'm going to tell you exactly how to stop that tonight. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about generational curses, how to stop it. And, you can't talk about stopping curses without talking about putting curses on things, people, and whatever. It's a two-way road. And I like to be fair. So we're going to talk about how to curse someone or something. Of course, it's just knowledge to have. It's not something you want to do to anyone. You don't want to go around cursing people, right? How many thousands and tens of thousands and thousands in administration? I don't think it really mattered, to tell you the truth. There are some people you just can't curse. He's one of them. So I think that they are what they are. So anyway, so when Harry Potter, I was watching some Harry Potter the other day. If Harry Potter's on, I'll watch it. I'll even put it on as background noise, especially like the first few, and then I like the one where like he goes going for the cup and had like Voldemort came back and all that, right? I like that stuff, man, because it's just kind of cool. It's different, It's not different now, but when it came out then, all the Christians were mad. You should have seen the upswing from angry Christians. They were condemning the actions of Harry Potter. It's the devil. If you put any stock, anything that takes a buck away from them is the devil's work. You ever notice that? Maybe the devil's free. One of my friends back around Christmas was like, "Oh my God, Christmas, man, it's killing me. I have no money. I'm broke." I'm like, "You need to find a new religion, something cheaper." Some dollar store religion, man. So someone's not going to make you spend tens of thousands of dollars from grateful people. Just saying. So yeah, Harry Potter. I loved it. I like controversy. I like the commingling of controversy. Some would call it friction. I would call it blending. It's more of like the one side to the other side. And, if you could represent yourself properly in debate and gather someone's thoughts and say, hey, this is a different way of looking at it. It's more about enlightening those individuals. And they're like, yeah, I get that. But not Harry Potter. There's a few movies that came out that pissed off the Catholic Church in general, and Harry Potter was a whole series of them. The Last Temptation of Christ, that was another one, man. I know in Ithaca, New York, a guy drove a school bus, through the movie theater that was showing this movie. You know what I mean? No kids on the bus. Like, hey kids, want to go see a movie? Jesus Christ! All these people think themselves of some kind of warrior, and they're defending something like a Jesus would need to be defended by these people, right? Or anything more powerful than them. Drive a school bus through a movie theater. I think that kind of blows the whole premise away of what Jesus would have been all about. I remember he saying nothing about school bus going through a movie theater. But anyway, and then what was that other movie? It was some stupid movie that the Pope, he himself. I never even saw it. I don't remember it. It was like some weird thing, and people are going crazy for it. I don't know, a while ago, 12 years ago, maybe something like that. And it was weird looking creatures. They weren't quite humanoids and whatever. They're supposed to be really big. I don't know. I don't remember this stupid movie. I remember like the stupidity of response from the Catholic Church and like denouncing a movie and idolizing. How dare you idol? It's an idol. They're, these people are the kings and queens of idols, and they're saying idol. People always identify what they are, and their labeling and their projecting. So yeah, not tonight. Tonight we're talking about curses, man. So in Harry Potter, there were 3 curses that were going to end you up in jail, right? These 3 curses are the Imperious Curse. And they say imperial. That's like controlling people. You got to control them, like so you can walk them into a river or whatever. This has happened in religion, man. People were mind controlled. People drank the Kool-Aid. People walked into the ocean. People jumped off the cliff. Whatever, man. People have killed and have been killed because of religion. That doesn't make any sense to me. Not saying anything, no kind of loving religion wants any part of that, right? No kind of loving God, loving, understanding God wants anybody to destroy each other because of some opposing views. Then you have the Cruciatus Curse. I know it's Harry Potter, it's all fake. I'm talking about some real stuff tonight. I just think this is kind of funny because it pissed off all these religious people. The Cruciatus Curse. Crucio. That's like where people get tortured, man. Crucio. Right? And then the Killing Curse. Avada Kedavra. Ah! People get whacked. I come from the city, man. We don't got time for pulling out magic wands and chanting a bunch of stuff, man. It's more about it's more about just surviving in that moment and not wasting the amount of time. Boy, these guys pull out a wand in the city and say vibe, vibe. By the time they get the first vowel out, they would be shot to death. So yeah, there's also that. Man. I think you have to survive in your own realm. And when you go out of that realm, it kind of screws everything up. But I like the whole Harry Potter franchise from beginning to end. I didn't get into any mystical beasts or anything after that. J.K. Rowling, like a lot of people who got filthy rich beyond their dreams, went clinically insane, and then all of a sudden they think what their opinion matters, right? Your opinion matters to the people who idolize you for the work that you've done, not for what you think. And a lot of these like famous Hollywood types, they're out there with their political opinions. Like everything they say is a magic word that, worth gold. You should hang on every word because they know this. They're professional liar. They're up there just portraying something or someone. They're acting. They're not known for their personalities. You don't know who they are. They're professional actors. The only thing you know about them is they're the roles that they played. I love Kevin Bacon. I think the guy's a piston, man. The Tremor movies, those are some of my favorite movies. Talk about a great franchise, man. I mean, everyone in there, not just him. But I think he was actually in the first one, but the rest of them, anyway, he was in the first one. I like Kevin Bacon. He's the quintessential kind of stuck-up douchey guy that, in Animal House, he was that dude, and whatever, man. I like him, right? But do I care what he says politically? No. Do I care what Tom Hanks says politically? No. George Clooney? No. Not any of them. I could give a crap. First of all, I have my own opinions. I don't need somebody else's. I don't even need to hear somebody else's opinion because I really don't care unless I have to care for any kind of reason, right? But you can breathe a lot of life into things, especially, it's like these movies from the 50s and 60s, these science fiction movies. Now they're coming up with the gadgets and the technology these days. So what you create out of your dreams and your ideas can manifest physically if you work for those goals. Anyway, when it comes to curses, it's a little different, man. It's not something you may see all entirely at once, right? But then there's curses like, okay, let's talk about some types of curses. A quick curse. A quick curse. You got no time. You got no time. You're running, man. You got 5 minutes to go through the store or whatever. Somebody crosses your path to give you the evil eye. Bang. What do? You might want to launch that quick curse. All right. Now, many curses are very elaborate, like all that blah, 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 right? Too elaborate. And some people get into it like they got altars and they got all kinds of like herbs that they burn and, candles and whatever and oils. You don't want to piss someone off that does all that stuff because that's going to be their whole next to however long they focus that energy at you. Who needs that crap? So now, the drawn out curses take a lot of time, days, even weeks to perform, and they aren't always practical. Modern witches don't always have the time, tools, or energy to perform such curses. While there is certainly a place in the craft for more elaborate forms, though, of baneful magic, it can be incredibly useful to have a few more simple methods tucked away in your back pocket when you need them the most. I like to call them instant curses. You know what I mean? Like instant grits versus grits. Instant rice versus rice. Really. So there's the spitting curse. Puh! Spitting is a powerful form of cursing. It takes some effort to work up enough saliva to spit on something while not taking up a terrible lot of time so you can work out, a lot of the intent into one little action. Obviously, spitting on someone would be the most direct form of cursing them. It's illegal to do that, man. It's actually considered assault. But that's quite an inflammatory move and is actually illegal. See, I don't recommend it. This person said, instead, you can spit in front of or behind a person you're trying to curse. Alternatively, you can spit on something of the person, spit on their windshield, spit on their I don't know. I think you don't have to curse someone to spit in someone's path and then give them the evil eye. I think that's pretty powerful. You just let them know that hey, you are cursed. You should print up little cards, hand them like a little business card. You are cursed with the evil eye on it. Ah, that ruined someone's day. All right, getting on to the evil eye. The evil eye was traditionally a curse cast out of jealousy or envy and was thought to cause bad luck and injury to the recipient. I used to get it all the time with my ex, and we would go to parties, and I'd be there having a good time, and I'd look across at her, and she'd be giving me the evil eye. You know why? Because people don't want to see you happy. That's why. So with this evil eye, it's quite easy to branch from there and use the same principle to meet your own ends. Giving someone the evil eye is a method of cursing that can take a bit of practice. Essentially, you're directing as much ill intent into a quickish glare as you can. It's pretty difficult to miss your target as long as you don't have a wandering gaze. Or if you get like one of those eye problems or eyeball goes one way and the eyeball goes the other way, and you talk to those people, you don't know which eyeball to kind of look like. You kind of like have to dance around a little bit to stay in their scope of vision. You feel like I just stare at the bridge of their nose and kind of cut out the middleman. All right, once you get the hang of it, the evil eye, you got to be careful. It can be quite easy to give someone the evil eye without fully meaning to. I do that to cashiers sometimes, man, especially with the mask on. It makes it more intense because there's less on your face to be expressive. So they kind of look at you. You got this black mask on, and then like your eyes are flaring. you know, yeah. Did you find everything you were looking for? I'll give you the evil eye. First of all, it's a stupid question. Second of all, you can't help me in the seconds that I'm online. Check it out. See, they need people to wander around the store and just bother you intermittently. Hey, did you find everything you're looking for? Can I help you find something? I always ask them for something stupid. I'm like, where do you keep your Mercedes for sale? Oh, we don't have that here. What are they talking to me for? You don't have that here. How about your cigars? You got cigars? No, we don't sell them here. Ah! All right, man. All right, buddy. Messing with me. How about verbal curses? Quick verbal curses are easy and effective. All right? I'm not going to go into detail because, I think that everybody knows how to curse at somebody out. You see, now in the city, that's like normal. That's how people communicate when they're driving around. And you're F you, your body, F you, your mother, F you. If they don't do that, it's kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with me that you can't curse me out? What's, got a problem? Got a problem with me? Mother F. Mother effer? I think that people who are good at cursing should. Samuel Jackson, right? He's great at profanity, man. How many movies the guy's in? He's cursing his face off. Then I see him in this credit card commercial, that whole what's in your wallet. And he's not cursing at all. And I'm like, why? Why mess with the masterpiece? If you're gonna put the guy in the credit card commercial, you're buying the guy who's in these movies cursing his face off. It's his raison d'etre. Is use profanity. Right? I know people, and I'm one included, that can use the F word 300 different ways with 300 different meanings. You would think it's just one word. That's master communication. So you look at your next credit card commercial. There's Samuel Jackson on there doing his little spiel. And then he pulls out his wallet talking about, what's in your mother effing wallet? I'm like, wow, he's right. What is in my mother effing wallet? Lint, I think. Dust. IOUs and bills. What's in your mother effing wallet? Yeah. Damn it. I'm going to go sign up for that card right now. Mother effer. I'm calling Mother effer card company. Sign me up, Mother effer. This card. I need it. Samuel Jackson told me asked me what's in my mother effing wallet. I don't have your card, mother effer. And they sign you up right away. Thank you, Mr. Mother effer Angley, for signing up. How about written curses? Some of these curses can fall under the same general category as verbal curses. Writing an ill intent on a slip of paper. But be careful of stuff people can use in court. Whenever I think paper, I think court, man. I don't know. I'm trained that way, I guess. When my brain thinks. So verbal curses. Writing an ill intent on a slip of paper, slipping in somebody, that could be kind of all kinds of harassment, man. So these days I would shy away from anything long lasting. Verbal, as long as they're not recording you. Nobody's got a phone now. They record everything. You gotta be careful. You curse someone, they can prove that's like some kind of harassment, man. You know? You might want to be the person that doesn't notify them. Mother effer. There are other forms of curses that could be written, though. Small curse, like doodles on sticky notes. You show up at your house, you gotta put the key in the door as a sticky note with a little curse on it, the evil eye. It's like, damn, again. That's what happens when you date witches. You want that to happen? Date witches. All right? You don't want to get cursed? Date some Christian girl, some Jewish girl. They will curse. They might yell at you. They might do all kinds of stuff. They will curse you. Well, maybe they will. All right. Let's see. Aside from the doodles, I'm going to go beyond all that because I'm feeling a legality here about paper and harassment. Unless you can kind of make it in a way that could be construed of not harassment, like have a nice day, mother effer, and then you're like, let's see, I don't know. Did Samuel Jackson leave me a post-it on my window? What's in my wallet? I don't know. All right. So let's get past. You can write their name. You can write their name on stuff. Write their name. I'm sorry. You can write their name on a toilet seat. How's that? You lift up the toilet seat. You see your name written on there. You're like, oh, damn. What's going on? It must be mine. I'm going to sit right here, do my business in my little Oval Office. All right. Let's see. You could have, all right, so you could do it on a dumpster, on a car tire. I don't know, a car tire. Really? That's lame. Back in the day when we didn't like somebody and people had hubcaps, man, we would pry the hubcap off and throw a dead fish in there. You know what I mean? Like, just let it stink out. You know what that smells like a couple days in? You see people going crazy looking around their car and what the hell that odor is. They never think it's the hubcap. Oh, yeah. Stuff we used to do to each other when we were kids. All right. How about long form curses? The long form curse is what most people think of when they think of cursing in general. It takes more time, is generally well thought out and planned, and often requires a caster to hunt down materials to use in the casting. This is the form of cursing that most commonly involves tag locks as well. For those of you who have never heard the term, a tag lock is something that will connect the person to the spell, like hair, toenail, saliva, a photo, etc. This form of cursing is honestly no different from other forms of spell casting, and there are many ways to cast a curse as there are ways to cast a spell. It can be ritualized or not, but all the components are the same. You use words, materials, and actions to assist you in directing your intention and willpower to cause change through your magic. With cursing, it's always advised that you know what effect you're trying to create. Often, Cursing is a highly emotional endeavor, and this added emotional current can make your magical more powerful than even intended. To avoid things going further than even what you're comfortable with, it's always best to be specific in these instances. So, object bound curses. An object bound curse is a type that people run into most frequently, I guess. These are curses that instead of being directed at a particular person, they are attached to an object, like I talked about earlier with all those people, the Kennedys and the Hope Diamond and things like that. And they all come across objects that are cursed, and they follow that object around, affecting whatever comes in contact with it. So, and that's the type of thing that you may get something that you don't want. I mean, it wasn't intended for you, but something was attached to it. So, and these are basically unintentional. So, and these are items that, they just, whatever got that emotion and that energy attached to it for whatever reason. So, but the unintentional nature of these things can make life extremely unpredictable if you come in contact with it. If you're not experienced with handling and breaking those sort of curses, then it's not even something you can steer clear of, because it's more about a feeling. Like, how do you feel about it, right? So anyway, if you run into one of those things, it's it's something that you want to handle and take care of, right? And imagine you get attached. Okay, you're all of a sudden now, boom, you've got this crazy curse attached to you. What do? You don't, you can look for people and say, hey, can you help me? I got this curse. There's charlatans out there that'd be happy to take your money. I hear stories all the time of people being charged thousands of bucks to have these negative entities removed from them, and things only get worse because those people, like parasites, they'll suck you dry. So it really comes down to how to break a curse. Now, if you think you are cursed, and I know meet people all the time. They always say, oh, I must be cursed. I'm cursed, man. Every time they try to do something good, something terrible happens and whatever, right? Could be you're cursed. Could be you're just crappy person. Could be you just have a crappy outlook, or you think everything's going to be bad and you don't aspire for anything good. Yeah, it's okay. So what do? Let's say you are cursed. Generational curse on you. Your ex cursed you. Whatever. First thing you got to do is evaluate it, right? So the first step in curse breaking is basically a thorough evaluation of your situation. You ask yourself the following questions. Do you know for certain that you've been cursed? If no, what makes you suspect that you've been cursed? If yes, do you know who cursed you? The more information you can gather, or the person that cursed you, or why they did it, the better off you'll be. And what kind of effects is the curse having? Is affecting only you, or others also around you experiencing the effects? So these questions can help you determine the best plan of trying to break a curse, right? But you want to go beyond. Like in martial arts, man, we think through our target, right? You want to go beyond. So, in the second step, you want to have a spell reflecting. When trying to break any curse, you try to have that spell reflecting first. Reflecting spells is a method of sending the magic back to the caster, leaving your life curse free. This can be a very effective method, but it doesn't work on every curse. If you're dealing with an experienced spellcaster, they may have included safeguards to prevent the magic from rebounding on them. It's a good idea to evaluate in the days after trying your spell reflection to determine whether it worked or not, right? If your spell reflection does not work, then you're like, uh-oh. You try step 3. Try a simple curse breaking spell. There are many ways to break curses, and some of them are fairly quick rituals. Try one or two or three of them and see what happens. So, number one, let a source of living water carry it away. Take yourself to a natural source of water, like a river, lake, or ocean, and get in, right? You know what? Like, for like the Chinese New Year, I used to really get into all that. So still am into martial arts, but the philosophy and the history, and I like the ways of nature, So if you have troubles, you have stuff you want to just get rid of off your chest, we used to like just write it down on a little piece of paper and make a raft, just small raft size of your hand, has some branches and whatever, and then put a little sail on there, maybe some leaves or whatever you got to do. You make a little raft out of it, light a tea candle on there, and put your little note, and you sail it on down the river, man. Sail it on down the river, right? Or the ocean or whatever the hell you got. That's a nice way of getting rid of something. Or you can burn a bay leaf at dawn and again at sunset. Allow the smoke to waft over you, and when the leaves have finished smoldering, scatter them in the wind. Or you use selenite to cleanse your energy field and break the hold that the curse has on you. Or you take a bath with Epsom salt and hex breaking herbs. Bay leaves, fennel, jasmine, and nettles are all common choices. Sounds like some human soup, doesn't it? Put some carrots and potatoes in there, man. Number 5. How about this one? Clean your house with water infused with hex breaking herbs. Mop the floors, clean the walls, wash the doors and windows. When you're finished, throw the mop water out the back door, right? Or how about brute force? If the curse won't be reflected and it's resisting simpler methods of curse breaking, it's time just to break it with just a little or a lot of force. The spell is simply an example of one that can be used. You know what? If you've got any kind, aside from spells and all that, because these are just words for negative energy, man. If someone throws that negative energy on you, you want to get rid of it. There are sources that you can go to inside yourself to tap into the universe, and you can kick that negative energy out. All right. So this one's kind of convoluted. You see, I'm kind of lazy when it comes to spell breaking, man. Me personally, I just want to get it over and done with. I want to kind of just like go to my phone and press a button and be done with the spell breaking button on your phone. Beep. This one, all right. This spell is simply an example of one that can be used. There are many out there. You will need air drying clay, water charged with the sun's energy, preferably at noon, a slip of paper and a pen, red ink is preferable, a bay leaf, a black candle, fire safe container, a tool for writing in clay, and a hammer. The spell must be performed at night and will be most effective if performed during the new or waning moon. You see, if I'm going to do all that, I'd rather just punch someone in the head or something, man. I mean, if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to put all that into it, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. Just gathering, just going buying air drying clay. I don't even know where the hell get air drying clay. Walmart or something? Like, where do witches go? You got to go to the witch store, buy some witch supplies with your witch credit card. Got to go on eBay. eBay has all that witch stuff. You can find all that on eBay. But then you got to buy it. You got to wait for it to show up in the mail. Mail's a little slow these days. That's just too much. Just the hammer works in of itself, man. You know? Back in the day, Mafia would send a fish to your mailbox, man. I'm very fishy tonight, I know. Hubcaps. You know what? And that's like a curse. They're going to come get you. It's like beyond a curse, some kind of metaphysical thing that's going to happen. In that case, you got some fat guys stink like garlic showing up. That's well beyond. But just getting a fish in the mail, That's basically you just get in your car and leave. You pack your bags and go. Ooh, there's a fish in the mailbox. Really? Bye. Where'd Michael go? I don't know. He just packed his shit and left. He's gone. It's gone. Bye. I don't want to deal with that. No, you gotta defend yourself. No, bye. It's a big earth. A lot of places to go. A lot of places to go. All right. But with this thing, this spell must be performed at night and will be most effective with a new or waning moon. So you got to wait for a new moon or a waning moon. You got to go, oh my God. My God. How long does it take for this curse? What happened to abracadabra stuff? Where's that? I'm too lazy. Cleanse yourself and your work. See if you're like hanging out, you got a hot girl, you're a couple of it. You guys naked dancing in front of the fire, cursing people. Then the time goes much faster. But by yourself, I'd rather watch The Office and not think about cursing someone. So you cleanse yourself and your workspace thoroughly and anoint yourself with solar water. Light the candle. Write down on your slip of paper all the effects that the curse has had on you. Be thorough and specific. When you have everything written down, you fold the bay leaf into the paper and set it on fire. You allow it to burn completely to ashes in the fire safe container. When the ashes are finished smoldering, you set them aside. You take a small portion of clay, enough to create a talisman that will be easy to carry, but not so small that you can't inscribe it. And you anoint it with a drop of solar water. Mix the ashes into the clay thoroughly, roll the clay into a ball, and flatten it into a disc. Be sure not to make it too thin. It sounds like how I make cookies. Some chocolate chip cookies, you know? Maybe I'll make some anti-hexing chocolate chip cookies and I'll sell them, man. Curse killing cookies. You buy one, eat it, and you're good. What's wrong with that? So on one side, you want to inscribe the talisman, no more befouled, again unbound, again unbidden. Biden, bidden, unbidden. Again, Joe Biden. On the other side, inscribe a symbol to represent the curse. This can be a sigil, but it can also be a simple doodle. Close your ritual space, blow out the candle, and let the talisman dry according to the directions provided. When the talisman is completely dry, take it outside early one morning and allow it to sit in the sun until noon. The talisman is now finished. Carry it with you wherever you go and will absorb the energy from the curse, preventing it from affecting you. On the next new moon, take the talisman and smash it, rendering the curse that it has absorbed useless and broken. Dispose of the shards outside of your home. Okay? Now, once you've broken the curse, your work isn't over yet. Some more stuff you got to do. Once the curse has been broken, you'll need to do some magical housekeeping to remove any lingering energy or effects. The first step is to thoroughly cleanse yourself, your home, and anyone else who has been affected by the curse. Set up wards and protective enhancements around yourself and your home to block future curses. These measures should be regularly updated and refreshed as long as you are in a situation that may incite another curse. You see? So, like I said, man, it's a long, drawn out process. I know this woman, Jarena Dunwich. I'm like trying to get her on the show. She's very shy of radio, whatever. She writes amazing books about candle magic. And basically, she's like, take a black candle, you take a pin, you anoint it with myrrh oil, you inscribe it with what you want to do, get rid of, or whatever you're trying to achieve, right? You stick it in a cauldron of water, preferably the good bottled kind, and let the candle burn down into the water. Doesn't have to be the good bottled kind. Let the candle burn down to the water, right? and take the whole thing, bury it in a hole. You dig a hole, pour it in there with a candle, everything. Not the cauldron. You keep that, and you bury it, man. And that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice getting rid of energy that way, you know. So every now and then, despite repeated attempts to solve a curse, somebody will say that they can't break it, and then you kind of got to do the stuff over again, you know. But it's more about repeating the process, and also involving otherworldly beings. Man, I mean, you love Jesus Christ. Don't feel bad about asking for His help. You know, whatever you focus on that brings you to that spiritual level, you ask for that help. It could be Allah. You know what I mean? Ask for their help. Give me the strength to defeat this evil on my own. So I don't have to go to Walmart and buy clay and all kinds of stuff and sit there for a month and a half burning stuff. I don't want to do it. I want to watch TV. I got other stuff. Barbecue, man. Got other stuff to do. I try to case. So give me the strength. You do that in like 10 seconds. Waha! You send out that white light. Sure. If you want to take salt and make a ring around your house, hey, I know people that do that. Right? So, what about generational curses? People ask me once in a while, like, hey, you know, do you think that my family is cursed? I'm like, yep, most likely. Pretty ugly. So, all right, generational curses are essentially curses after being cast upon one member of the family, proceeds to pass down the family line to children and their grandchildren, and so forth, affecting the lives of generations of people. Entire families will experience ruin at the hands of a single curse, often losing their financial well-being, their health, their social standing, and much, much more along the line. Often the same misfortune will affect multiple family members, and sudden accidents and misfortunes are common. Alcoholism and drugs do the same thing too. And then people will blame like that on the devil. The devil made me drink, but not really, you know. So typically people who suffer from generational curses will know that they're cursed when it afflicts them, and you see your family suffering for no reason at all, beyond the suffering of most people. But there's a lot of suffering in the world. There's a lot of suffering. You're not going to look in one little corner and not see some kind of suffering. So this is why it's hell, right? It's usually common knowledge in the family that, oh, we're cursed. Oh, imagine growing up, you got to listen to a bunch of old people whinge on about being cursed. That's worse. Being cursed, they're sitting there talking about it, you know? Perhaps a great grandfather pissed off, you know, a witch one day back in the 1100s, and she cursed him. And now it's going to go on and on and on, you know? So, but you could also have just crappy luck, and there's no curse going on there. It's just you and the bad decisions you make. There's also that. So you have to kind of like understand the differences between the two, you know? And generational curses are very hard to break because, you know, they're in the family. When the original caster of the spell dies, the vast majority of that power behind the spell also dies in most circumstances. But this would mean that perhaps the first generation experiences the curses and possibly also the second generation. But after that, you would think that the curse would be likely dead and go away, but it doesn't. The curse keeps going and going and going, keeps impacting the members of the family. Why? Because you can look back and you can think about future lives, past lives, and the families, and how energy may just stay in that one kind of family zone. People who have claimed that they knew themselves in their past lives from their own families all came from the same family line. Interesting. So at a certain point, the story the family tells about a curse, you know, yeah, of course, grandpa, pissed off so and so, and they cursed him, and now this is what we got. So over some stupid reason, right? So But what do? You do what I said to do with the black candle. That's like the easiest, man. Don't go to Walmart. Just go and do what you gotta do. So, how to break a generational curse? All right, you begin by writing it down. Of course, keeping a record, making a list, man. Write down all the beliefs that you have relating to the curse. Write down every single one. It's then you gotta poke holes in those beliefs. You gotta think about what's really going on. Belief, right? The curse caused me to miss out on this amazing job last summer. Question: is it possible that something else cursed you, or something else besides the curse that could have made you lose a job? So, I mean, it's kind of like that. You kind of have to do a feeler if you are really cursed, right? But after you've kind of gone through the whole thing, and then you're realizing that you are truly cursed, you have to build new beliefs to replace the old ones, right? And you got to douse yourself with that positive white light, that energy, and push it out, push it out, push it out, push it out. And then you apologize to the universe. I'm sorry that someone in my family was an asshole to you, but that's not me, and I don't want to pay for them because I'm a decent person, something like that. So, and you have to understand that in your daily life. You have to acknowledge that in your daily life. You have to acknowledge you yourself and more powerful than some kind of low vibration from the past that's going to rattle around through your family life, even if it was you that was resurrected or whatever you want to, reborn, rebirth, not resurrected. But it was you, Jesus, who popped out. You cursed. Oh man, of course. Bad things happen. Misfortune happens. But, there are times that it could be misfortune, but then also that misfortune can turn into fortune very easily. So there's also that. You have to work within the realm, understanding the realm of energy. So, yeah, you can't pick your family. You can pick your friends, but you can choose your own destiny. And the things that you're drawn to, the path that you need to be on, the place that you need to be, the place that you need to go is entirely up to you. So if someone spits in your path, if somebody does something, first of all, you shouldn't be pissing anybody off to the point where they want to curse you to begin with. But let's say you do. You want to turn to a mirror. When someone's throwing their negativity at me, I turn to a mirror and I show them just how ugly that they are. And God doesn't like ugly. You understand? And I do pray. I pray on it. I ask for strength. I ask for that passion. There's times that I feel like I'm weak in certain areas, and I ask for it, and that's the only way that we're going to grow and change unto ourselves and become better as a people. You got to sit there and just put an end to it and say, hey, what's your problem? What's wrong? You don't like me or something? You don't like the way I dress? You don't like the way I talk? You don't like I'm kind of loud and whatever? Everybody, we are all made differently, but we are what we are, right? So with that, I think I'm going to end the show there, man. And then Joe Montaldo keeps saying, play some music when you come in and go out. People like it. Play some music. So I'm going to say, or maybe do like Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell. Something like that. Or like LA Woman. LA Woman. LA Woman. LA Woman Sunday afternoon. Do 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 do. I want to be on the West Coast. Boo 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 boo. People are more laid back out there. On United Public Radio Network, UPRNTalkRadio.com, 107.5 New Orleans, 104.7 Pittsburgh, $99, $100, $105, $100. So